All right, guys, welcome back to the Money Matters podcast. I'm here again. I'm here with my boy Ayaz. Ayaz, you want to tell us about what you do?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me. My name is Ayaz. So I've done a lot of different things in the past, but right now what my venture is, I work with influencers, social media coaches, online coaches, and also like personal brands. And then I help them grow online. I don't only focus on getting like the attention and like the followers and stuff. I focus on creating lasting influence, helping them create like loyal communities,
Yeah.
and overall just like amplifying the positive impact they have on the world.
Right. I gotcha. How did you get into this whole thing? Like, what made you want to work with influencers and get into this kind of thing?
It's a good question. So I know a lot of people want to start a personal brand nowadays. And I actually wanted to start one like 2 years ago, but like I didn't have any skills or any experience or anything like that. So first what I did was I built up my skills. I did door-to-door sales, if you guys ever know. I ran a successful door-to-door window cleaning business, which you know about. So yeah, I just got experience in all that stuff. And then now I have the experience. I'm helping others grow as well.
Yeah, that's really all it is, you know? Like, you got to build up a certain skill set. You got to build your own business. You got to build up that kind of credibility.
Exactly.
Right? Have something to show for your clientele, for your people. And then after, just turn that into your personal brand. You go, hey, this is what I do. That's what I stand for.
Exactly, bro. Yeah, no one wants to like listen to someone that just came out of like high school. So I'm like, I can't start a personal brand yet. Let me just build out all the experience, all the skills. Now that I feel confident, I could go on camera. Now I could help other people. Like I have the confidence. If I work with an influencer, I know guarantee if they have like 100,000 followers, I could get them to making 100K per month for sure. It's very easy as long as you know how to monetize their audience and all of that.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a good business. It's a good business, and you've probably made a lot of big connections doing that.
100%, bro. 100%. That was the main thing I struggled with, like getting connections. I don't know if you struggle with that.
At first, I guess it's about like trying to find the right people. Right. So trying to connect with the right people that you could actually work with, right? Build with, that kind of thing. I'm going to be honest. I've met all kinds of people in my life, in the past couple of years. Some have proven to be, let's just say, more helpful than the rest.
Yeah, you have a pretty crazy story with your past.
Oh my fuck. I got a lot of stories. How long do we have? An hour? So yeah, we got time. I've met all kinds of people from like, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs to like complete crazy crackheads. So, it's a pretty wide scale of people.
Yeah, so I think I was always like a lone wolf. So now I just started getting into like networking and meeting other people.
Yeah.
Which is a big help because you can't build an empire by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need people, and not just people. You need the right people in your, like by your side.
Absolutely. That's very important. Very, very important. Because as a lone wolf, you can only do so much. You need to have kind of a team with you, right? Now, like me and you, we've connected. We got a lot of other people helping us. And that's really the way to grow, to get big, and, to move ahead in life.
Exactly. Like when I first started my door-to-door window cleaning, like I didn't have that idea. Like I've heard of it and everything,
Right.
But like someone introduced me to it. And then once I started doing it, I started my own business.
Right.
So it's very important that you have people that are in different like categories or industries, because it just opens your like mind to different kind of opportunities out there.
For sure. Yeah, it's important. You gotta, go out there. You gotta just talk to everybody. You gotta. That's how I got into like networking. I realized how important it was. Everywhere I'd go, I had a lot of events. I had a lot of events back then, And every time I'd go and I'd just talk to as many people as I can. And I've met a lot of people through those, in particular, like through those events, especially because, you know, a lot of people come, a lot of interesting, successful people, entrepreneurs as well. And when I talk to maybe, I don't even know, maybe 10, 20, like 50 different people. And I usually make a lot of connections and just one night alone. And now looking back at it, it really has led to something else, because a lot of the people that I know now, right, they're related to those events either directly or indirectly, right? Like how did we meet? It was
Yeah,
it was
so
through
I was in a networking group,
a mutual
and I
friend.
met someone,
Yeah,
and he introduced me to you, and then
Yeah.
you introduced me to a lot of different people.
exactly.
So
And then,
it was a chain basically. I just met one person,
exactly.
and then from there met like 50 other people.
Exactly. It's like a chain. And now our network is it's very big. Let's say if we were to add up everybody I know plus everyone you know, it's we're over 100 strong. You know, we got a big network, and it goes a long way. And it really goes a long way. You know, like imagine if let's say you lost everything right now. All of a sudden, like you had $0, your business, everything just vanished, right? You'd have to have some kind of like a backup, like a safety net, right? And that would be your connections. That would be the people that you know, right? They can give you a leg up for you to be able to get back up on your feet. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. I want to talk about like the events because I didn't hear much about it. I heard it was crazy.
Oh my Jesus. Yeah, I can go on for hours. We only have like 1 hour, but I'll try to keep it short. Literally today's Monday, so
Yeah.
Friday. So 3 days ago, I had an event, and I'm going to be honest. All I'm going to say is, long story short, I've been fucked over. I was fucked over by more people in that one day than I was in my entire career. It was a very intense day.
Was it that hectic?
It was hectic. Like, I swear to God, I felt like I was in like a James Bond movie or something. It was intense. It was very crazy. All the odds were against us. So the venue that I was supposed to use, the owner calls me early in the morning and he goes, "Oh, Jacob, by the way, you're not getting a liquor license." They called me, the liquor board. They called me and said, "There's no way you're getting a liquor license, and there's no way you're selling liquor at this event. If you do sell liquor and if you do have this event, we're going to send the cops here." That's what he said. Like literally the morning
Really?
of.
No way.
Yeah.
And then how did the place get canceled?
I decided to cancel it because I'm like, what's the point? Right? So how we were selling the tickets was we weren't really doing any online sales. It was mostly physical tickets, and it was mostly pay at door. I had I'd say over 50 people promoting it and posting it. So it had reached the entire city. But the thing was, a lot of the people were pay at door, right? So I didn't really know exactly. I had like a good kind of an estimate of how many people were coming, but I wasn't 100% sure that, okay, this many people would show up. So this guy, he calls me again. Like he's totally trying to fuck me over at this point. He calls me again and he goes, "Oh, by the way, you still need to pay me my $9,000. I said, "What are you talking about? The event's not even starting, right? We haven't even started yet." It was like around 11 in the morning. And I said, "I don't have to pay you yet. Just give me until before the start of the event." I said, "I am confident that 500 people are going to show up. And when they do, I will hand you all your money before we open the doors." And he says, and his like African accent. No, 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 no. You need to pay me. You need to pay me now. And then I'm like, you know what? There's no way this is happening. Like all my partners, everyone, we all agreed, and we canceled it. We canceled it because we said there's no point in us throwing an event, and we can't even sell liquor.
That was very last minute on the day of.
Not even on the day of, literally 5 hours
5
before.
hours, yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you get like all the other people to know about the other like
So
location?
we had to move fast. Like it's never been this intense ever. So my DJ, this guy, he had a connection with a club downtown. I'm not gonna say the name, but he had a connection with a big club downtown, and he called them, and he connected me in the call, and we made the deal on the spot. I said, look, I can bring you a lot of people tonight. I have a lot of tickets sold. I am confident that at least 200 to 300 people are gonna show up. Let's make a deal. And then he's like, yeah, sure. So we make a deal with him. I send out the new address immediately to all my people. Like I literally had 4 or 5 hours, right, to let everyone know that we were changing the date. And a couple hours later, come the time of the event, about 100 to 200 people showed up. Like it was big. We were sold out.
That's good. Because I know beforehand, like we met up and then you were stressing about it. And I told you everything was going to be okay.
I know.
And then you pulled it off.
I know.
Which is good.
I know. These things are stressful. And I'll tell you, that was not just, that was not the only thing that went wrong, the venue situation. The guy that was supposed to do the event with me, right? The original guy that was supposed to partner with me, he left the country. The country. It was crazy. Like he's my good friend. I've known him many years, but I don't know, something came up with him. He had to leave immediately. Like literally a week or two before the event. He didn't even call or anything to let me know. He's just, he's like, oh, by the way, I'm out of the country. I'm never coming back. Just letting you know. And yeah, he's gone. Like he was actually like gone. So he left me with the whole thing, the whole event to deal with. So I'm like, you know what? We're 2 weeks in. It's too late to cancel. I'm just going to go hard at it. Whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to flip a coin, hope for the best.
What I realized, I don't know if you agree with this. I think you rely on people too much. I remember I told you that. Do you agree with that statement or?
For certain things, yes. For certain things. Because that just goes back to having connections, right?
Yeah, that is true. You got to have connections, but like you got to be self-reliable.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
If someone leaves like that, like let's say I'm running a business, I was running a door-to-door window cleaning business and I had like salespeople, right?
Yeah.
Some days they want to come, so like I would have to like get the sales from my cleaners and stuff. So I think I was always like self-reliable. Like I didn't rely too much on people. I always like had the idea in mind, like if this person were to leave, what would my next step be? So I'd always have that next option. So if anything goes wrong, I know what the plan is.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you on that. I agree. I think at the beginning, if you know people, like I said, it's a leg up. But no, you cannot rely on them, in the long term for the rest of your life. In my business too, in my swimming business, in that business, I understand that I am the leader, right? If anything goes wrong, anything related to the business involving any one of my team, anything, in the end, it's on me, right? I'm that last line of defense. So I need to have, right, all the skills, all the capabilities to be able to run that business and lead, right, in the front line. Like when my clients come in, I'm the first face that they see. I'm the first person standing there, right? I introduce myself, I shake their hand. I'm the first person that they have contact with when they come into my business. And that's how it should be, you know?
Exactly, yeah. Do you want to talk about how you got started with the swimming school? Because I don't even know. How did you get started with that?
You know, I've always been a lifeguard. I've always been a instructor all my life. Like swimming was just, you know, it was my thing. And I worked a couple different jobs doing that. And you know, one day I thought, you know what? Why don't I open my own place? Why don't I open my own swim school? It's going to be a good business, because the one I worked at before, it was they were sold out. They were sold out. And I was boys with the owner. Like we were tight, you know. And I helped him run the place. I helped him a lot with you know, all the operations of the place, like dealing with the clients, you know, managing, dealing with the team. So I already had a lot of the skills it took to run it. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just, you know, open one on my own and build it into something very big?
That's true. You know what is important? Because a lot of people try to start a business without getting the experience. So it's good that you had that job beforehand and you're close with the manager, because then you learn all the ins and outs of the business.
Exactly. And I hope he doesn't see this, but I basically copy and pasted their entire like what's it called, business operation into mine. It's if you compare the two, it's very, very similar in that sense, but I was able to put my own spin on it, right? Like we went hard with advertising the first year, especially. Like I'd post on social media every day. I'd post on Instagram every day. We made content for the place too, so you should check that out. Like we'd make content, like just little like skits, right? Like showing off the business and with all the team in it, right? So people see it and they know what we're about. So I basically took, right, concepts that already existed, and then also turned that, right, put my own spin on it and turned it into something of my own.
That is true. Like everyone tries to reinvent the wheel, but like the best thing to do is just copy what other people are doing and then put your own twist on it. And then if you are like let's say you're like the top of the niche and you want to stay at the top, right? Because that's the game. Like it's not just to get to the top. You got to stay at the top.
Absolutely.
Like you got to be constantly innovating once you're at the top. But if you're just beginning out, just look at the top players, copy what they're doing, add your own twist, and then you're going to do fine.
Exactly. You want to make it similar. You want to make it similar, but not like, you know, an exact copy. You want people to kind of relate to it and also see you and be like, whoa, this guy's interesting. You know, he's different. He's different from everyone. I'm going to watch him. That's what you want to go for.
That is true. So you have the swimming school. You had the events in the past. What's your next, what's your goal? What are you planning to do?
What are we sitting here right now and doing? That's the better question.
That is true. Explain it.
What are we sitting here and doing? What have we been grinding out the past couple months? The content.
The content is a new game, yeah, for sure.
And you know, what we want to do, like the goal is we want to inspire other people, right? We want people to know that they can make money and they could be successful and they could do it all just like how we did and just like how we're doing now.
Exactly. I mean, what was I going to say? Yeah, the whole point is about inspiring people for sure. And like just showing other people like that they could do it too. And it's very interesting because once you improve your life, once you start doing like things that are like out of your comfort zone, everyone around you sees that. and then they look up to you. They're like, oh wow, this guy's doing this. Maybe I could do it too. So let's say in your
for
family,
sure.
like for example, in my family, like when I first, no one went to the gym in my family. My friends didn't go to the gym or anything, but I went myself. I built that discipline and that habit, and then once I like became in shape and stuff, everyone around me started seeing that. They're like, okay, he got into shape. I could get into shape as well. So same thing with business, same thing with creating content. It's like once you take that first step, everyone's gonna see you, and then their lives are gonna improve as well.
Even this podcast, like when we did the first one, before we did the first one, right? I don't know. Some people, they weren't really paying attention. They didn't really notice. We posted the first episode. I made a bunch of like short reels. I posted those two on my story everywhere, and it got a lot of traction. People were watching, people were seeing, and they're messaging me. You know what? Good shit. Keep it up. I like what you're doing. You're sending a good message, and now a lot of people they wanna join us on this too. Like I swear, I have like 5-10 other people asking me. So, this thing, it can grow very big. We're gonna include a lot of people in this thing.
For sure. I mean, I had a very hard time like finding like-minded people, especially here in Canada, because like none of my friends were in business or anything. So I think it would be pretty cool if you started something like a networking group or something over here in Canada, because like you said, it's like a minority over here, like business owners. So like creating something like that, I think a lot of people would be interested in that. Like I would be interested in that as well.
For sure.
Like meeting other people like me.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's important. It's very important. I was gonna say, you said you didn't know many people, you didn't have many friends that were also in business. How were you able to get away from that and start actually meeting other people like you? Like how did you get into that?
At first, it was very tough. I had to basically let people go because like we just didn't align with each other. Like I had different goals, and it's like just eventually we just moved past each other. And I was on my own for a very long time, but then I realized I can't be a lone wolf. I gotta find more people like me. So it's just like putting yourself out there, sending messages to people, joining networks, going to events and stuff. That helped a lot for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you? How did you?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take you back 3 years. 3 years ago, I was still in uni. I was just a university student.
Yeah.
I had, back then, my biggest priority was getting drunk and getting fucked up and partying every single day. I used to go to Western, I told you, right? And I was a very different person 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I could not imagine myself, sitting here right now doing this. I didn't really know what I was really going to do with my life, My entire life, everybody's telling me, oh yeah, just go to school, get a job, get a 9 to 5. And then I had a lot of trouble meeting the right people too. 3 years ago was also, COVID times and all that other bullshit. So it was extremely hard. Like, 99% of people were like, oh, I'm not going out. So, it was hard. So yeah, the beginning of my third year, I dropped out. I said, you know what? That's enough. I dropped out. And then, I came back, for a couple months. I was still trying to figure out what I was doing. This was around the same time I got into the venue stuff too, the event stuff. And then after, it was like literally a week after I dropped out, I started really getting into the venues and the events. I helped them actually to, renovate and build that place, literally. Like we were literally waking up at 9 a.m. going there, doing all this construction, like drywall, everything. It was a bonding experience, and I really got close with those guys. And then eventually we started throwing events in that place. I remember the first night we threw an event. I'm not kidding. Like 500 people right away.
Really, on your first night?
500 people. 500 people. I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And then, and that was when I realized, I'm like, you could literally make a business out of anything, right? It's easier than I thought to make a business, to meet new people. So yeah, that's when I'm like, you know what? Holy fuck. I'm going to start building a lot of connections. I'm going to talk to a lot of people here. And even now, to this day, a lot of people that I met from there, I'm still friends with them now, right? So yeah, it opened up my eyes to a lot of things, a lot of new experiences.
For sure, for sure. Can you speak about like how much you made during those days?
Yeah. So my very first commission, I made $1,500. I brought in a guy. I don't know. I started like talking to him. He said, "Oh, I do events." He said, "I do big events and I can bring you a lot of people." So I said, "Okay, come do an event." I show him the place, right? I close him for like, I don't know, like 8-9 grand or something. And right away, right, he pays like, he pays all in cash, and like he pulls out like $100 bills. He's like, "Okay, I'm getting the place." And just like that, I made $1,500 just for bringing a guy in, you know, selling the venue to him. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm like, holy fucking shit.
Like, yo, you're never going back to a job or working.
I said, never again. Not only a job, I'm never going back to school. They're not going to teach you this in school. They're not going to tell you in school, oh, you could do sales and you could make commissions like this. No, they're never going to fucking tell you that. No. So I was like, wow, like this is crazy. So yeah, I started bringing in more and more people. I put up ads for the place as well. Like that was drawing in a lot of people as well. And yeah, I was just bringing them in, you know, selling the place, closing them, making a lot of money. There's one thing, it's called upselling.
Yeah.
Basically with upselling, the most simple way to explain it is you're choosing how much commission you make. You're choosing how much commission you make. So the owner of the venue might say, okay, let's say for example, he says, okay, sell it for, let's say $4,000, right? At least just give me $4,000. Whatever more you sell it for, if you sell it for higher, whatever, that's your commission. So you could literally say, like, think about it. What other business can you choose the amount of commission that you make?
There's nothing else, just sales, bro. Sales is big.
Yeah, very big. So it got to a point where I built so many connections. Like I didn't even advertise really, like when I brought in these people. I built so many connections. I was literally able to book an event, like even 2 sometimes, every single week at this venue and at this other venue. Literally 2 every week. And these were big parties. Like they would pay like a lot. I swear to God, like they came in with like this much cash. Some of these people.
Really?
This much cash. Yeah.
And how much did they spend?
10 grand.
10 grand.
Yeah, like every week I was closing people for like 10 grand. Like the owner was like, just give me 5 and then whatever more you sell it for, that's yours. And I swear with some of these people, I was able to close them for 10 grand.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah.
Spending like 10 grand on like something like partying and stuff. That's crazy. There's people out there spending that much money, like 10 grand. People make that in like what? 4 or 5 months.
I know that's insane. Like it blew my mind.
There's so much money out there.
I know.
It's insane.
There's a lot of money out there. Money really matters. Money really
does
matters.
matter.
Money really matters. And like, guy, I was shocked. Before this whole thing, I was shocked because I'm like, there's no fucking way people would spend that much money on what really is a venue, a room with 4 walls and a couple like chairs. That's it. Who in the fuck in their right mind would spend 10 grand? But some people will, for these events, for these parties. Like, think about it, 10 grand, that's a lot of money. You could go to Mexico 10 times with that money.
That is true.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do any more events in the future?
Fuck no.
Bro.
Fuck no.
The thing is, I'm trying to convince him to do more events, but not like the party degenerate type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a waste of time because I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like partying either. But like,
I'm not a party guy.
we gotta do events, like better events, network events.
No, I said we're gonna do those events. Those I have, those I am 1000% down to do. Those absolutely, but like you said, not the degenerate partying, that shit.
We gotta move on to bigger and better things.
Exactly.
Bigger and better things.
Exactly. We only move up in life.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, what else you want to speak about?
I don't know. Keep talking. We have time. Yeah. You know why I wanted to stop the events?
Why?
It wasn't even because of what happened on Friday. Like, I stopped way before that.
Really?
I stopped way before that. I said, I'm like, this stuff, it's hard. It's stressful on you. And it's a lot of unnecessary bullshit. Like, I'm going to say right now, yeah, and you can agree with me too. In business, a lot of people are going to be out there to fuck you over.
100%.
In the event business, literally everybody is trying to fuck you over. Everybody, from the club owners to the security guards, everybody's trying to fuck you.
I don't know, like, okay, there's people that are gonna fuck you over, but like, I feel like if you're respectful with everyone and everyone knows like you're a good person, they're less likely to fuck you over.
No, not
and especially
even.
if you're respected as well. If you're respected by people,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say people like fear you,
Mm-hmm.
they're less likely to fuck you over. So whenever someone fucks me over, I always try to look at myself, try to see if I did something wrong, because it's always like karma or something like that when I look back at my past experiences. So the thing is, like, if you're respected, if you're respectful as well, it's so less likely you're gonna get fucked over.
That is true in a way. I mean, the other people that are, I'll just say, not scammers and are also straightforward like you, yeah, they will respect you. They will. And they will have your back. But in that, I'll say, in that industry itself, most of the time, a lot of fake people are involved in that. A lot of fake people. And they are going to come and say all sorts of things. Oh, my friend, they'll say to you, you're my friend. We're like brothers. Yeah, I treat it like your place too. Yeah, don't worry. I've never fucked anybody over. They go, I'm always fair. I'm always, making sure that both sides are happy. Those are all empty words. And that's another big thing I wanted to say. Yeah, even though I never want to do it again and it's fucked up and it's usually all over the place, these events have taught me to become extremely street smart and resilient and just fast, It's taught me to be like that. It set me up with skills that I will use for the rest of my life.
100%. Like, knowing about like human nature is so big. Like, especially in my work as well, like where I'm helping influencers, doing like influencing work, it's very important to know how humans think and how they behave, because
Yeah,
but you're right. Like, people could have like good intentions, but like if their situation is fucked up, people will do fucked up things. It's just
Yeah,
being
I
aware
know.
of that type of people.
I
And
know.
also, like, your environment matters a lot. Like, you're talking about the party industry. Like, what kind of people go there? Let's be honest.
Not exactly
It's
good
not going to
people.
attract the right type of people.
Yeah.
So it's very important, like,
You're
what
not gonna find a
environment you're in.
saint at a party. Let's just say.
Yeah. Like, your environment matters a lot, bro. Like, I mentioned to you this before. Like, if you were to meet a girl, like, let's say at a party, and then in scenario B, you meet that same exact girl, but it's in a coffee shop or something like that. That relationship is gonna be way more different to the one compared to the
Yeah,
club.
I know.
Like, she's more
I know.
likely to cheat on you if it was
I know.
from the
I
club
know.
than meeting her at the coffee shop.
So, moral of the story: don't meet your wifey at a club, because if she's at the club, she's not your wifey.
most likely,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's another thing I wanted to say. I've met a lot of girls, a lot at these events, a lot, like more than you can count. And
Yeah.
not a single one really is wifey. Not a single one.
I mean, these days, like, young girls, especially like in their 20s, they're not looking to settle down.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the Western world, they're just trying to have fun. I mean, my advice would be like, I don't know. I would say, like, don't even get into dating, to be honest.
No, you
it's
have
like-
to.
what do you think?
No, you have to get into dating. You have to. It's a part of life. You know, it's a part of life. You have to get into it. Even though she might cheat on you, break your heart, whatever, you have to go through that. You have to go through that. You need to gain that experience, right? So after, when you're older, when you're actually serious about settling down, right? Then you'll look back at your past mistakes and be like, okay, you know what? I don't want this to happen. I know exactly what I want. I know what needs to be done to have a healthy, long-term relationship, that kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I've obviously had some experiences in the past, and then I learned from it. But, like, if you want to be very smart, like, intelligent people,
Yeah.
they learn from other people's mistakes. So that's what I try to implement in my everyday life.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, like, I hate making mistakes. I don't like making mistakes. Like, even after, like, when I go home, I'm gonna be rewatching this podcast, seeing what I could do better.
Yeah.
Even if it was good, like, I'm trying to improve all the time. And I look at other
Yeah.
people, I'm like, okay, this guy fucked up in this area, in this area. I can't make that same mistake.
Holy
So
shit,
if you're
it's
very
it's
smart
cold
and
in
you
this
want to,
room.
like,
Yeah.
get, like, ahead of 99% of people, look at what other people are doing and see how you could do better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I was saying, right now, right? Since we're both starting out, we're both in the early years of our, doing business, of everything.
Yeah.
Now is the time. Now's the time to make mistakes. Now's the time to make mistakes and learn from that.
Exactly.
And-
In your 20s, like, society doesn't expect much from you guys.
Society tells you to spend your 20s having fun and partying and getting all fucked up.
Yeah.
I know, because I almost went that route. Thank God I didn't, or I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah. I would say, like, peak year is like 33. That's when, like, your mental's at a peak and your
Yeah.
physical's at a peak.
Yeah.
So if you could build in your 20s to that peak year 33, you're going to be set for life.
So you're saying I have 10 years to build.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, 10 years. That's a long time. Well, not really. Not really. It could go by just like that.
Yeah.
The clock's ticking. You got to tell yourself, the clock's ticking. Life is short. And before you leave this earth, because we never know when our last day is going to be,
That is true.
like, we don't know. So every single day we gotta make it count.
The thing is, most people don't, like, internalize death. Like, it's not talked about. Like, everyone knows everyone's going to die at one point. But, like, it's not, we're just deluded thinking we're going to live, like, forever. But if you truly internalize that you're going to die one day, you're going to take your time more seriously.
I know.
You're going to be more purposeful. You're going to have a lot more meaning, for sure. It's like, so I do a lot of influencer work. So I understand like when people change, just like different, like times people change.
Right.
It's when they have like new beginnings, like they might have a new relationship, new job or something like that. So that would make them change, or they see someone else doing good, like their mentor or someone they look up to, and in that way they change. And then some people change once like time passes. So let's say they're like 30 years old. They're like, oh shit, I didn't do anything in my 20s. Now I got to change. And then there's other people that hit rock bottom and then they change. And what I think me and you, our category is like, we just desire more for life. Like we just want the most out of life.
Yeah, we have that natural like drive.
Exactly.
Inside
We just
of
have
us.
that ambition to have more. And we just realize like life is like there's limited time. So we want the most out of life, and we want to do the best we can and like give a positive impact.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think having that inside drive and ambition it's very important. It's very important. And that's just something you're born with. It's a reflection of how you were raised, right? Plus it's something that's already inside of you. And if you have that type of personality, you will get very far. You will. Because you'll always be wanting more. You're always going to ask yourself, hey, how can I do better? How can I make this better? How can I make my life better?
Can you give me some like examples of like where you pushed for more? Because I know in my business, I have a lot of examples.
No, it's like a mindset thing. So now in my business, we're pretty much sold out. Like we have a lot of people, a lot of clients coming for swimming. Like come by to the pool, you'll see it's packed with like,
Yeah, I gotta come
all
one
these
day. I
like
wanna
all
see.
these you could even come today. All these like kids, all these like people here swimming. It's looking very full. But I constantly remind myself, number one, I'm like, if I don't hustle the same way I did as if I had 0 clients, then I actually will have 0 clients. If I just sit back and get comfortable and be like, oh yeah, everything's all good to go, I can just, lay back and, just dick around. I treat it like I look at it as if I had 0 clients, right? So every time somebody calls, I pick up the phone and talk to them, and I sell them the exact same way, right? And I could be very pushy, like to the point where they have no choice but to sign up. And then another thing is I always look at ways like, I'm like, how can I grow this thing? How can I grow this thing? I want to have 2-3 locations, right? I want to expand it. I want to offer other services too, right? You just got to approach it that way and think big.
Exactly. Like when I was doing the door-to-door window cleaning, like once I hit 10K a month, like I did that all by myself. I didn't have any employees or anything. Like I was just grinding every day, waking up, just hitting the doors and cleaning the houses.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I hit 10K, I didn't like let go. I'm like, how can I make this bigger? How could I push myself? So I used all that money to invest into like getting employees, getting better equipment. So I'm never like trying to stop or just maintain something. I'm always trying to push for more.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Me too. I want to be able to grow my business. I want to grow it to the point where it's big. Literally everything that I do, I approach it that way. Even with our content, it's going to go everywhere. Everyone's going to see. The goal is they're going to stop scrolling on their Instagram and TikTok reels, and they're going to check us out. They're going to go, wow, these guys,
100%.
they have their shit together.
And the thing is, like, I couldn't have done it. Maybe I could have done it alone, but like it would have taken me a lot longer. Now I have Jacob, like I met you. Networking is so important. You guys are going to see in real time how far we're going to take this group and this podcast and the content stuff.
Yeah, expect to see new faces on here every single time, people that you've never seen before. Expect to see a lot of new people, big people too. Yeah, no, it's good. It's very important. We have a team because, like we keep saying, if you're a lone wolf, you won't be able to get, you know, half the amount of work, not even. You won't be able to really achieve anything. You'll only go so far. It's very, very important to have a team. And every day I'm constantly looking for new people to bring into the network. We have a network of people
Yeah.
already. How many people are involved right now? Like,
So far, like off the top of my head, I could think of about 20.
yeah, about 20. And by the end of this month, next month, I want to make that 40. I want to make that, 40 strong, and we keep
100%,
growing.
like-
We keep doubling every month.
If you guys are like business owners, entrepreneurs, make sure you guys message me or Jacob. Like
Yeah,
I'm always
message
trying to
us.
meet more people.
Come, we'll smoke some shisha,
Exactly.
have a good time.
Well, you guys can come on a podcast or whatever. But yeah, I'm always trying to meet new people because everything is about connections, having good relationships. It's not just about the money. You got to be like good in every aspect of your life. You got to be good at speaking. You got to be in shape. You got to have networks. You got to have good relationships. You got to be good with your family. Like you got to have everything. You can't just be good at one thing nowadays.
Yeah,
especially.
you gotta be well rounded. You gotta be, what's it called? You have to excel in every part of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's important. And let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. When it comes to money and people, especially when you're running a business, what is more important? Like, where do you draw that line?
Are you saying like in like business or?
Yeah, let's start with that, like business wise. I'll give you an example. Let's say I was a client. I wanted my windows washed.
Yeah.
And I was super cool. I was like a chill guy, likable guy, and me and you, we get along well, and everything's good. But when it comes to the money part, I'm like, I can't pay you today. I have no money. I'm in a situation. Oh, please, man. Can you make an exception? Something like that. What would you say? And this is like a very, very likable guy. You like him a lot, but he said he can't pay you today. Where would you draw the line?
Yeah, for sure. If it's a guy like I like and trust or something like that, like if it was Jacob that came up to me, he's like, yo, can you just clean the houses of my windows? I'll be like, okay, I know Jacob, I trust him. But yeah, like I would say like people are much more important than just having money, because people are gonna pay you. People are gonna work with you. People are gonna work for you as well. So everything is just about people. And like business, I feel like business is just about like, you just kind of go in a room and you talk to people and then things just happen.
You're right. It's like, it's all about people. It all revolves around people. Like name any business that's out there. Literally anything. It all revolves around people. What do you need for your business to be successful? Clients.
True.
And what are clients? Regular people, paying customers, right? Paying customers. No matter what you do, could be, swimming, could be window washing. I don't know. You could sell fucking, I don't know, chairs on the side of the street, whatever it is. It all revolves around people.
100%, bro. You gotta learn how to navigate like with people for sure. Like it's very important. Like even if you're doing like something like software engineering, it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're gonna deal with people. That's just life.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, you gotta build a good relationship with your clients.
What would you say? Like, I feel like people are gonna say like, what about AI? What about AI?
Oh, now we're getting into it. What do you mean? Like, I know a lot of people are saying that they think AI is going to take over or whatever. And eventually it's going to replace all like most human jobs and most human interactions.
Bro, can
right?
I
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, like, can I speak about that, like AI? Because all these influencers, like Luke Belmar and all these like top people, they're gonna tell you like, yo, AI is gonna come and destroy you and this and that. But like, let's be realistic. Like, it happened for like years. Like when we got nuclear, when we got like technology, like phones and stuff, everyone thought it was gonna destroy like humanity or something. But like as we go on, like there's gonna be restrictions, there's gonna be laws and stuff, and then there's like the platforms, they're gonna have like verification systems and stuff like that. So like, yeah, like working with influencers is very interesting because I understand like why they talk about AI and stuff. But yeah, even if you do AI, you're still gonna be talking to people regardless.
Okay, let me ask you, do you think AI will eventually replace humans?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Maybe there might be like a virtual world like people are gonna go in, but like it's still like I don't think so.
Yeah, if anything, I'm okay with AI for the most part. Like, I use Chat GPT all the time. I'm sure you do too. For little things, yeah, it's like a tool, right? It's like a tool that helps. It's like, okay, you have a phone, okay, you drive a car, right? Same thing, right? It's like you have a tool that can assist you with your day-to-day activities. However, I don't think that AI would ever take over from humans in any way, because in the end, as similar as you can make them to be like humans, they still are not humans.
Exactly.
A man cannot create another man.
They're never gonna have
Only
like,
God can do that.
they're not gonna have emotions and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're not like the AI is never gonna have emotions. It's never gonna be like a human.
Exactly. Thank you.
And as humans, we want like emotional connections and stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting how things work out. But like, I'm not saying don't use AI. Like, you gotta use AI, especially in this day and age.
It's like I said, it's a tool.
Advantage for sure. So do you use any AI in your business or just Chat GPT?
Just Chat GPT. Like I just use it, in general. Like if I have, I have a question, or if I want to write, something. One thing I use it for, like I post these little like blogs on my website. I get Chat GPT to write it all. Like it comes out in 2 seconds, so it helps. It helps.
Yeah.
But do I ever think it's gonna take over? Absolutely not. Like, for example, in my case, do you ever see a robot teaching somebody how to swim? No.
That would be interesting. A robot.
That would be a total
teaching you how to
disaster.
Really? If that was like a case, would you take it or no?
No.
Really?
No. That'd be kind of creepy, don't you think? Like you wanna go and like learn how to swim, creepy, and then you have like a robot just in there. Okay, we're gonna go. Like that's just not gonna work. I could never imagine that in a million years. Because like right now, my business, it's built on like, like I said, relationships. Like just us like actually building a rapport, like that kind of thing with the client, right? Like me and my team, we're very likable guys, all the clients love us, they all know us by name. We all know them by name. We know them and their family, right? It's very, very relational. If you were to take any of us out and replace us with a robot, you could never really replicate the same thing.
Yeah, I agree, for sure. What was I gonna say? Yeah, AI is kind of interesting because, we're just kind of getting started with the AI stuff. So I want to see how it goes. Like, it's gonna be a big thing, especially in like content creation. Like Meta's trying to like build their own AI, and like Meta has like so much data, which is insane. Because like content creation is gonna get a lot more crazier. So yeah, I'm staying up to date with like AI, especially for my work. And I think everyone should use it in their business, at least like some part of it.
No, absolutely. It's a tool. It's a tool that can help. And now, especially with AI, with social media, right? There's TikTok, Instagram, everything. All that has actually made it easier to get your business and your brand out there. Would you agree?
100%. It's never been easier to start a business with all the tools, all the technology. So yeah, even if you're young, like don't be afraid to start a business. Me and this guy took the step, and it worked out well for us. So
We took a huge risk, and I have a story.
talk about it.
I've been wanting to tell this. Where do I begin? Let's just say before I actually started to actually take life and building up my business seriously, as I keep saying, for the past 2 to 3 years, I was mainly doing those events. I told you, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of crazy things happened during those events. Things that you can't imagine. There was a stabbing at one of the events that I had. Somebody died.
Really?
Yeah.
At one of your events?
Yes.
That you hosted?
That I had a part in hosting. Yeah. It was crazy. And in that moment, I saw how real things got. So another part of the reason why I'm kind of stepping away from that and focusing more on what we're doing now is because in those events that I did, that I was involved in, I learned, like I said, a lot of skills I can put towards the future. But I think that my time in that industry has come to its natural end.
100%. But like I was telling you before, like it builds character. Like all those tough times, all the things that went wrong, like now you look back at it, like it's not as bad as it seemed at the moment, and you actually learn from it, and then it kind of shaped who you are today.
Oh, it did in a big way.
What are like the main lessons that you learned from like that industry?
The biggest thing I learned, my biggest lesson from that industry is don't trust people with just their word, and that actions will always speak louder than words. Yeah, don't trust people when they just say things, because a lot of people say a lot of things. Can you agree? A lot of people,
Yeah, for sure.
they're all talk, no walk. I've had a lot of people come to me, more than you can imagine. A lot of people come, they go, "Oh yeah, for example, oh, I'm a big promoter. Yeah. I can bring over 500 people. Everybody knows me. Yeah. I have this plan. We're gonna work together in the future. We're gonna, do this and all this, all that." 99% of the time, these people are full of shit. They just say that. So my biggest lesson that I learned was don't trust anybody. Always have your doubts, because a lot of people can promise you 1,000,001 things, but it could turn out to all be a lie. It could turn out to all be a scam.
100%. Action talks, like just speaks louder than words, for sure. 100%. And I agree with that. The thing is with like humans, like, you know what's crazy? Humans have like 140 cognitive biases. That's insane. Like there's like we think we're like very logical and stuff like that, but like we have these cognitive biases.
Yeah.
So it's very important to like kind of just think twice about things, like especially like when you're doing like huge business deals and stuff like that. Like someone could seem very like warm and confident, but you got to see their actions. Like what are they actually doing, right? Like there's a lot of different times I've talked to like to my friends about like past business opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I never take people's word for it. I always see what their action is. And like now me and Jacob are doing like this podcast. Now I know like you're serious about this.
Absolutely.
And we can make something great.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, a lot of them are just not serious. Like a lot of people, and more than I can think of. In this 1 year alone, I've had several people, you know who I'm talking about. Several people tell me, "Oh, hey Jacob, let's do this. Let's start this business. Let's do this together." Blah 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 blah. All talk, and when the time comes, they come, they do it for like a week, and then they go, you know what? I'm busy. They make some excuse, so I don't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
that's what they say. So these past couple years of being in the business really taught me to never ever take at face value what people say.
100%.
You really have to watch out for what their actions are and what they actually do, right? And they have to kind of, show you that they are serious, right? By actually following through with what you guys talked about.
100%. And if you're like that person, that guy that does action, that does stuff, like people are naturally just going to come towards you. You're going to attract those serious people if you're serious yourself. If you're kind of like a loser, you're going to attract loser people. And it's just like, that's just how life works. Everyone works in like groups and packs and stuff like that. So if you guys are like serious about like business, about like leveling up, like you got to start meeting those people, and you got to be like that person yourself.
You are who you surround yourself with.
Exactly.
You are who you surround yourself with.
And like, mark my words, like me and you talking right now, it's just me and you right now. But a lot of people are going to see this. They're going to be like, yo, I'm serious as well. I want to get into like groups
people
like this.
People already are like, we posted the first one and they're already hitting me up. They're like, yo, like, can I be on this? Like, let's make some content together. It's booming. It's booming. And, people like what we do. They like what we do. And, it's starting to draw in. It's starting to really relate to people. That's what we want. We want to be able to connect with them on that level.
What would you say to people that want to start posting content online?
Simple. Just fucking do it.
Yeah?
Do it. Yeah.
I feel like most people are like, I think they're afraid to post online.
I know.
Which is kind of crazy because how are you going to be afraid to post online? Like,
I know.
Most people don't really care about you. They care about like what they could learn from you and like stuff like that. So
exactly. And not even that. A lot of the time, and I used to be like this too. I used to be fucking terrified of, posting, videos of myself, showing people what I do. A lot of the times it's in your own head. A lot of the times you're just overthinking. I tell everybody, don't overthink, right? A lot of the times it's all in your head. And once you get past that mental block, that's already a huge first step in the right direction.
100%.
Holy shit, it's cold in this room. I'm like, that's okay. Getting out of your own head and really just building up that confidence, because I'll tell you right now, you could get over it just like that. Make like 1 or 2 videos, right? Start recording yourself, right? Start talking on camera. You'll get used to it really fast. I'm talking like 1-2 days, and
exactly,
you'll have it all down.
And like, yo, don't be afraid of getting hate. Like the influencers I work with that get the most hate, those guys get the most views, they get the most followers, and they get the most money. So don't be afraid of that. That's what pushes like your videos to like millions of views. So I would never be scared of like getting hate on. I think it's a good thing. If you're not getting hated on, you're not doing something right.
Just keep in mind, those people that hate on you, they're taking time out of their day to watch your videos, right? To scroll through your social media page, to comment on your videos. So like the real question is, are they really haters? Because if anything, they look like they're your super fans.
They're
If that's
the
the
fans,
case,
bro.
if they're gonna comment on every video, they're gonna watch every video. They're like they have their notifications on. They're ready, right? Whenever you post something to watch, just to leave you a shitty comment. I wouldn't really call that a hater. I'd call that more of like like a number one fan.
100%. And the thing is, I believe in like equal and opposite forces. So if you do have haters, then you have supporters like just equally like on that side, like that love you and stuff. So the thing is, that's for like everything. If you have people that want to kill you, there are people that are going to defend you and like put their lives at risk for you. So it's very crazy. Like it's good to have haters, to be honest. Yeah.
No, if you have haters, if you have people like that, that's how you know. That's how you know you're doing it right. That's how you know your videos are really starting.
Have you ever gotten
pick
hate
up.
from people like when you posted content online? Because I have.
The better question is, who hasn't hated on me at one point? That's the better question.
Yeah.
No, when I first started making videos, this one guy, well, he was my friend. That pretty much says it all. He was my friend. Every time I posted a video, he'd call me. Like he took time out of his day to call me, and he said, "Oh, it's not gonna go well. Your videos are not gonna be successful. It's not gonna work out."
Really, they're that direct to you.
Yes, he called me specifically just to say that. Just to say that. I'm like, whoa, like, dude, where'd all this come from?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm like, I was never negative towards you. I'm like, come on.
That is true.
But that brings me to my next point, and I'm sure you know this too. When you start to be successful with anything, your friends, a lot of the people that you know who might have been your friend at one point, a lot of the people, they will start to show their true colors.
That is true. Yeah, like there's this kind of human nature, like people will envy you. And the thing is, like, I never understood like dragging people down. Like, of course I felt envy sometimes of some people. Like I don't feel envy towards like what's it called? Messi or someone like that, or Ronaldo. Because I don't want to be a soccer player. But like if someone was doing well in business, I'm like, oh fuck, like I kind of envy this person. But like I don't use it to drag them down. I use it as motivation.
Exactly.
To pull myself up and do better.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's it should be like that.
It's very hard for people to look at themselves and say, like, I'm not doing the best I could, right? It's easier to attack people, to hate on people. It's just human nature. Like, it's very easy to see other people's mistakes instead of just looking at yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all I'm gonna say to end this off is it's up to you how you wanna go about it. It's up to you. You could either use it as motivation, as something positive to push yourself forward, or you could spend the rest of your life on your phone hating on other people. It's totally up to you which route you want to take.
100%.
Yeah.
And if you're more direct, like more people are gonna like be attracted to you as well.
Yeah.
Like on the positive side.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's it. That's it for today.
That's it. That was a good podcast for sure. It was good talking to you.
It was good talking to you too. And any last things you want to say? Any last words?
Yeah. So like if you guys are like an influencer, online coach or something like that, you could DM me. I'll give you some tips. I'm very selective with who I work. If you're doing anything like OnlyFans or gambling or like you're a scammer or something, just don't even like.
Yeah, so everybody except for the scammers and the OnlyFans people, everybody
gamblers and
except
stuff.
for those, hit him up because he could help you. He can help you. He has a lot of experience in what he does.
Yeah. You have any last words?
Yeah, no, that's it. Ayaz, I appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you on the next one.